What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a live edition of Talking in Tampa Live. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. Got my trusty co-host by my side here, Miss Marsha Railton. Good evening, Marsha. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm great. Thank you.
It's great to see your smiling face. Marsha's been alongside of me for 2 straight days on Zoom calls with people from all over the country. So appreciate that, Marsha. And just a quick heads up, y'all, we're going to get into local topics. If you've never joined us here on Living in Tampa Live, we talk all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. I am a team leader here with the True Living Group. Marsha is an agent on the team, and we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest in the area. Now, having said all that, if you've also never been and joined us on a live stream here, we'd love to know where you're watching from. We try to keep this live stream very interactive. So please feel free to comment where you're watching from. If you've got questions during the show, please feel free to do that. We welcome those with open arms. It's what makes our live streams really fun. You guys really make this fun, so we appreciate it. Don't hesitate to make that comment because we're excited to get with you. But I want to get into this because if you saw the thumbnail on YouTube tonight, you know, you're like, okay, what's going on here? And maybe this isn't a shocker to you. For our locals, they know exactly what's happening. This is a big deal. But if you're not from Tampa, you may not understand the gravity, the weight, if you will, of what is about to transcend here in Tampa Bay, invade, if you will. So we're going to get into that specifically. And I'm excited to share that with y'all. But Marsha, I want to start tonight with a dad joke. Who's ready for a good dad joke?
Oh, boy.
I know. I'm excited. It's rated PG, just so everybody knows. It's rated PG, but I got to get it out there, and it's appropriate for tonight, Marsha.
Let's hear it.
If you guys know the answer, put it in the chat. I'd love to know. Why do they call pirates pirates?
Tell me. I don't know.
You don't have any idea? No guesses? Give me a guess in the chat.
Why do they call pirates pirates?
Why do they call pirates pirates? All right. The suspense is killing everyone. I know. They just are. Oh, you're welcome. I've been working on
good. I gotta say that was good.
I'll be here all week.
Uh-oh.
I know, it's as bad as it gets. Listen, I'm a dad. That's all I can't hang with the big boys, right? I don't have a Netflix special. I got to go with what I got. And pirates just are. And speaking of pirates, for those of you wondering what all the fuss is going on right now, what we're talking about, what does the thumbnail mean? We are about to have the third largest parade in the country that happens annually, and it's about to take place in Tampa Bay. And for those of you who may not be aware, Marsha, why don't you tell them what is about to happen in downtown Tampa? What's the name of the event?
We're about to have a pirate invasion called Gasparilla.
The Gasparilla.
Like Juan said, it's the third largest parade in the country, but there's much more to it. It goes on for 3 months, so they don't stop the party once it starts.
Yes, the debauchery continues for an entire quarter. However, there is family-friendly things too. You know, I've been getting questions about this. They're like, so does everybody just like basically day drink all day? And the short answer is yes. However, the long answer is far deeper than that. We're going to get into some of those topics today. But if you have not experienced Gasparilla, it is a very interesting thing to witness. When we first moved here, the very first year, we didn't know. Again, it's a secret if you don't live in Tampa, essentially, right? Like I had never heard of it before. We came down. I'm like, what? People dress up as pirates and adults? Are they LARPing? Like, what is happening down there? Like, I thought we gave that up, and we're in grade school. And they're like, no, man, it's a thing. You got to go check it out, right? And of course, the very next year, COVID arrived, so that kind of went out the window. And then we had to learn through our things. However, Juan and his family are about to experience their very first invasion. So taking the kids down there, pray for us because I'm not quite sure what they're going to see. I'm a little bit concerned about what potentially could happen down there, but I think we're going to be okay in general. So, but let's talk about this because this is pretty cool. Let me highlight this a little bit. All right, so it says get on board Gasparilla season for more than a century. Literally, this has been going on for over 100 years. The legendary pirate Jose Gaspar has invaded Tampa Bay every year, kicking off 2 treasure-filled months of parades, festivals, and excitement. And there is a lot going on in downtown Tampa when it comes to this stuff. So pretty excited about that. There are children's events, as you can see up here, which is really cool. The entire river and the bay is going to be, there'll be pirate ships down there. Like I'll get you guys some content here, some video, so you can check it out with a bird's eye view and share that back with you. But there's a Gasparilla film festival. The Gasparilla Bowl took place during the holiday season there. There is the Gasparilla half marathon, I think, is taking place. We got a friend running in that. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening around this, right? So Marcia, why don't you talk to us about what you found in terms of Gasparilla here. And let me ask you, have you gone? Have you ever been down there?
I have not. I don't like getting dressed up like in costume. So that was my number one nay.
I don't think it's a requirement, but yeah, I like that. That's good.
I see a lot of adults getting dressed up to go there, and I just and they say like 300,000 people go to it, so it's very crowded. I'm sure it'd be really fun, especially our weather's supposed to be awesome. So, we finally have sunshine and nice temperatures back. So hopefully it'll be the perfect weekend for it. But I think I'm going to live vicariously through you and let you and your family experience it.
Well, we will go check it out.
Okay.
I'm excited to dig into the obviously the family friendly stuff here. The Arts Fest is taking place, coming up as well. Here's some photos. You guys can kind of see what's going on here. It's an event. It's a whole thing. Like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that there's a legacy behind this and what it means to the area. So like, it's just something fun to latch onto. And this is kind of like our Mardi Gras, if you will, right? For lack of a better term, I think that's a great way to explain how how the event gets approached. I love that. Again, the Gasparilla Music Fest is going on there as well. I know, Marcia, you had some information on that too.
Yeah, that's in February. So that's another weekend. It's like you were saying, it extends out. They have different events all linked to Gasparilla, which is pretty cool. I did see it started in 1904. So they started it all to lure people to Tampa. So they obviously did a good job. It was a good idea. They say that the impact locally for economically is $40 million this year is what they're expecting. So it's obviously successful.
Yep. That's bringing a lot of cheddar to Tampa. 40 million bucks is a big event there. So like, that's great. And Curtis Hickson Park is where the music fest takes place. So that's really cool. That's where the ice rink was. That's where the tree lighting service goes. Basically everything that happens in downtown Tampa, that's kind of the kickoff point. Curtis Hickson Park downtown. That's where all the things happen there. Marcia, let's talk a little bit about the parade route for those of you wondering. If you haven't seen, what I'll do is I'll pop into Google Maps too.
Okay.
So we'll do that in a second here. But let's go to the city map first, and we'll kind of talk about it.
Okay.
So for those of you interested,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to let them know. For those of you interested, tampa.gov does a really good job of keeping up on all the activities and the events that are taking place downtown. So that's the first thing I just want to kind of share with people. It's a great spot to go, but it is a government website, so it's never going to be the sexiest thing in the world. But it works. It's functional. It does what it's supposed to do. But let's talk a little bit about this parade route. Right here, Marcia, so we can just kind of share this with the audience.
Okay. It starts at Bay to Bay at 2:00 on Saturday. And prior to that, there's the boat that comes through with the pirates. So that's at 11:30. and that goes, it starts at the docks, I read, and it goes to the convention center.
Yep.
And so that ends at 1. And so you have an event from 11:30 to 1 with all the boats heading into the city, invading Tampa. And then at 2 o'clock is when the actual parade starts, and there's over 100 floats in the parade. It starts on Bay to Bay and winds through and ends at Cass Street and Ashley Drive.
Okay.
It's
So
4.5 miles. So
yeah, and that's great perspective. And for those of you that don't know, it's going up Bayshore Boulevard. It begins on Bay to Bay, but it's going up Bayshore Boulevard, which is this road right here. And I'll jump into Google Maps so you guys can get a little bit better view here. But I just wanted to show you. It goes past Davis Islands, and then it comes up into town and goes right, like you said, Ashley and Cass, right at the corner there. And that's just north of Curtis Hickson Park. Okay, so that's kind of where the end point is there. But for those of you that aren't aware, Bayshore Boulevard is the longest continuous sidewalk in the United States. And that literally follows Tampa Bay right here. It's a beautiful place to go run or walk the dog, walk yourself. Like, it's gorgeous. It's about 12 feet deep in the bay. You can see dolphin out there when the weather is nice. It's stunning. And you can see downtown Tampa. It's incredible. It's just such a beautiful place to go check out. And you can go check out South Tampa, which is this area here, all the way up through Hyde Park, Bayshore Beautiful, these areas here. It's just a gorgeous place to come check out. It's got some of our best real estate in the entire area. These are, it's got that whole vibe about it. South Tampa is something special. And then when you get into downtown, it's such a good time. So I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be really, really fun for us and the kids. I will not be dressing like a pirate. I can't say whether my son will or not. We haven't talked to them about that yet, but I think it's a really cool spot. And I want to zoom in a little bit more on the map real quick, y'all. I'll share Google Maps because it does a better job. Like I said,
I'm sure I'm sure it's super fun because downtown Tampa is so beautiful and clean. It's just a really, really pretty city. So I think it'll be a ton of fun. I agree. I said, I'm a big crowd person, so that leaves me to steer clear for that big of an event anyways.
Right. And so coming up the bay here, y'all, so you can kind of see what's going on. We'll zoom in a little bit and then work through it. But this is Bayshore Boulevard. Like I said, the longest continuous stretch of sidewalk in the United States. This is Davis Islands right here. There's two. Technically, there's one. There used to be two. That's a whole nother story. I'll get into that on History Time one day. So you guys can see that. We're actually going to talk about Davis Island here momentarily. This is Harbor Island right there. And then as we come up, you're going to pass through Hyde Park, and then it goes over past the convention center. And then, like you said, it's going to end at Cass, right? So it's ending right there. Here's Curtis Hickson Park. The Children's Museum is right next to that, y'all. So if you're looking for something to do with the kids that's family friendly, that is there. And of course, you can just take advantage of everything downtown. It will be a whole vibe all day. Kate and I are going to go have dinner at Armature Works up at Steelbach is the steakhouse we're going to go have dinner at. We've already made reservations. If you don't have reservations downtown tomorrow on Saturday, you better get them because it's going to be really hard to get into restaurants that night. It's going to be busy. So just keep that in perspective. So make sure you're
I learned my lesson when we went to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I didn't book reservation. I tried like a week and a half before we went, and everything was already booked.
Yep.
So people know to make that reservation. Did you know, Juan, that they had reserved seating to watch the parade? I was reading that it had at the convention center, the tickets are $158 for a reserved seat, but you get brunch, entertainment, and there's a cash bar. And then there's another place that you pay, I think it's $200, and you have pre-parade entertainment, a corporate style buffet, which I would assume means really nice food or really good food, and 2 drink tickets. So I didn't realize they had reserved seating for that.
They seem to do a pretty good job of that. I mean, when we did down there for the boat parade for the Christmas lighting, for
Mhm.
the Christmas boat parade, they had, same thing. You could do the rooftop at some of the venues. Like I love that about the city, how they allow us to do that. I think that's really cool.
They're
Let
organized.
me see if I can play this video, Marcia. Sometimes they don't play through, but let's try it.
The 1600s, the age of pirates. But not just any pirates, buccaneers. Sort of like this, yes, but more like this. Under the oppression and hardship of the New World, becoming a buccaneer was one of the few avenues towards freedom, adventure, and prosperity. A deadly profession with humble beginnings. The word buccaneer came from the French word boucan, which meant to smoke meat. The promise of piracy was a short life full of liberty and riches versus a long life of poverty and toil. So it's no wonder how piracy spread from the Caribbean to the coast of Africa and beyond. Some even established pirate safe havens on the coast of Tampa Bay. By the 1800s, the Buccaneers had faded into history, but their legend lives on. Tampa's Oaklawn Cemetery holds the graves of 2 Cuban pirates. And the bottom of Tampa Bay is rumored to hold a sunken ship with a treasure of silver. But perhaps the most legendary Tampa pirate is Captain Jose Gaspar, aka Last of the Buccaneers. This is supposedly his mummified hand. Gaspar's daring invasion of Tampa is recreated every January during the Gasparilla Pirate Festival, the biggest pirate festival in the world, running from January to March with races, music, art, and film festivals. It's a shindig that would probably blow the 17th century mind of any buccaneer. But while Tampa's pirate history is as celebrated as it is dubious, the spirit of the Buccaneers live on. Freedom and adventure on the open sea. It's the pirate's life for me.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now I want to go.
Yeah, I wanted to share that with y'all just because, like, hey, listen, you hear these histories. There's this kitschy, quirky thing. You're like, okay, 300,000 Yahoos show up in one city at a time. Like, what's happening? Like, why is that? And again, at the end of the day, the thing about Tampa Bay is like, there's just this laid back, but like vibrant culture that happens here. And you can see with the Buccaneer thing, like I get it, right? I understand why there's this tie into that. Just like where we moved from, back home in Detroit, like the Motor City, it's a thing that you do. You are wrapped around that. And here in Tampa, there's a lot of talk about pirates and hoisting the flags, and like it's part of the pride with the culture. So I think it's something really cool. I'm like I said, I'm excited to go see. I know that it's going to be overwhelming and exciting all at the same time. We have 3 young kids, y'all. My youngest is 5. There'll probably be tears and quibbling going on at least 3 to 5 times. It'll be something that I wish I decided not to do while I'm there, and then after we leave, we're gonna talk about how we loved it. So like, it's like going to Disney World.
Yeah.
Right? Because Marcia, I'm not a park person at all. Neither is my wife. Like, we don't want to be around big crowds like that where you're fighting for lines and stuff. And like, but there's something to be said for like the cultural thing that happens with that, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
And
I
it
get it.
will definitely be a great memory for your kids. I mean, how often do you see it looks like there's hundreds of people on that boat dressed up like pirates. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not something you see everywhere, that's for sure.
no,
And
I
I
agree.
was so impressed at Christmas when we went down there, not just with how clean the city was, but the transportation they provide. And I remember seeing things about once you get downtown, which I'd like to mention, there's many parking spots in downtown Tampa, which is really cool.
Parking
But
garages,
make
all of
sure
it.
you pin, is it called pin? I'm sorry, but pin your location,
Mhm.
because it seems like you know where you're going to end up at, but it's a huge city. So if you're walking for several hours, you need to get back to your vehicle. You'll want to know exactly where it's at. But once you park, you can take the streetcar. There's water taxis. You can rent bikes and scooters. It's really cool. It'll
Yeah.
be really fun.
Speaking of which, if you guys want a little insider secret here, park in Ybor and take the rail car, which is free. because this is what we're going to do. I'm going to park in Ybor City, and I'll go back to the map so y'all can get some perspective on this, right? Going back to our route here. So let me share this tab with you guys. Everything is lagging right now, so forgive me. So the parade route is going to come up Bayshore. It's going to be a little south of here. It's going to come up Bayshore, and then it's going to end up here at Cass. Okay, so like where you guys get some perspective just in terms of the parade route. Ybor City, historic Ybor, is up here on the top right side. You can see me putting the red mark on there right now. You can get the rail car because the rail cars are stationed here in Ybor. This is where they go to sleep at night. Shout out to Thomas the Train. Choo choo. They come off the tracks and they come straight down, right down through Channel District. Okay, so like this is where they come through, and then that's going to take you right downtown, and it's free, y'all. So you can take a rail card ride. You can park up in Ybor City, get yourself a great Cuban sandwich up there. Shout out to the Stone Soup Company. They have some of the best chili you'll ever have, but they also have an incredible Cuban sandwich. If you smoke cigars, you can get hand-rolled cigars up there in Ybor City. It's awesome. They have their farmers markets on Saturday morning. So if you wanted to do that before you head over the parade, I think that's going to be an option as well. But also just takes a lot of pressure off. And what's really cool is the rail car here, Marcia, it goes past the port. So you'll probably see like the Norwegian cruise lines are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably see them. You'll go past Sparkman's Wharf. So if you wanted to pop off at Sparkman's Wharf, grab some coffee, go to the beer garden there, you can do that also. You're going to go right past Amley Arena and Water Street. So there's plenty of things. There's the Yard House over there, which is all beer, all kinds of stuff. And then it'll take you over to downtown. So like there's so many things to do between the parade route. And if you go to the other side in the Hyde Park, go visit Hyde Park Village, which is a beautiful. We've done videos on that. I love going to Hyde Park Village. The meat market is their steakhouse down there. It's unbelievable. Bar Taco is an incredible experience. It's not just a taqueria. It is elevated, is the best way that I can explain that, but totally worth it. We took my daughter down there for her birthday. You got Buddy Brew coffee down there. I know I'm going crazy here, but like there's so many different things to do in Tampa. And like Marcia said, it's clean. Like, listen, y'all, it'll be a great time. You'll enjoy it. It'll be worth every single, cent you spend. You have and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to go check this out.
Like I said, now I want to go.
Come on down. We'll host. That's okay. All right. Now we've got some people.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, just looking at the weather, it's supposed to be sunny and 77 on Saturday. So perfect day for something like that.
Flip flops in shorts, y'all. That's what it's all about down here in Tampa Bay. We love it. We've got who do we have tonight? We've got Gary. Gary's checking in from Lancaster, PA. Shout out to Gary. He's always chiming in, man. I think you connect on YouTube, Instagram as well. So shout out Gary. Pleasure to connect, brother. He said that a disc golfer and love the courses in Tampa and Clearwater. We have not covered disc golf ever. So that's a great point. I've got a friend who's really involved in that sport as well. Thanks for bringing that up, Gary, because we need to give disc golf its flowers as well. So shout out to that. Kevin, my man, Kevin's in the house. We now can rest easy knowing that the one and only, the OG, the original, shows up for every live stream. Shout out to you, Kevin.
Hi, up, Kevin.
Yeah, Marcia says hello. Also, he says, this is my 20th year working at the Citrus Connection bus terminal in Lakeland, Florida. My man, 20 years is a long time to be working in public service. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure you've seen some things. I am sure you've seen some things. That's fantastic. All right, Marcia, speaking of this real quick, I do want to, before we move on, I want to talk quickly about some food stuff that I saw pop up today. So I want to share that with you.
Goody.
Before we
always excited about food stuff.
I know. Where'd it go? Now I'm not gonna be able to find it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. We'll come back to it. What did you have for us next?
I wanted to talk about a new community in Paris called Salt Meadows. I've been out there a few times. I have a client building there, and it's a really cool community, not right in North River Ranch. It's about 6 miles further out. So it's a little bit further than where the village of North River Ranch is going to be, but a beautiful community. And I really like the floor plans that they provide there. They're building their amenities, which are supposed to be done like in April or May. And they're going to have a resort style pool. They're going to have a fitness center, a clubhouse, sports courts, playgrounds, dog park, and recreational lawn areas. So I think it's going to be a good addition to Parish. And their HOA fees are only $13 a month, which is incredible.
That's almost free in Florida.
Yeah. CDDs are based on the size of the home. And another cool thing about it is it has 3 series of homes, so different sizes. Starting with the Premier series that start at $322,000. And we've talked about this many times before. In Florida, if you're building new construction and the builder says it's starting at $322,000, that means that's before you get cabinets and flooring and any design choices that you make. So normally people put about an average would be 15% into their design. So you could actually start at about $370,000, I would say. But right now they're offering $30,000 in flex incentives. So that's a lot of money to take off if you're purchasing a home that you can use it for your down payment or to buy down your interest rate. So it's a great way to get into a new home.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a lot of flex cash out there from our builders, y'all. And just brief note on this, Marcia, before you move forward.
Yeah.
When you hear the term flex cash, that's a marketing term. What that is an incentive to you as the buyer. Typically, it is in the form of cash. And what I mean by that is if you use their preferred lender, this is typically the catch. There's always a catch somewhere, right? Or their title agency or whatever it is. If you use their company that they prefer, they are going to offer you up to X. And like Marcia said, was it 30,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you can use that money in different ways. Sometimes, depending on the price of the property, you could use it all to drive down your interest rate. You can buy down points and lower your monthly payments. That all depends on the price point. Typically, what we see people do is use a portion of it for their closing cost, right? The money that comes out of pocket at closing, and to drive down some of their interest rate. So that's just a little bit of perspective on what that flex cash term means. So if you guys see that or you hear us talking about it, that's what we're referring to. Go ahead, Marcia.
Okay. Something that Meritage, the builder, prides themselves in is energy efficiency, water efficiency, and air quality. So that is their claim to fame, is that those 3 qualifications, they get certified. Each home is certified for that. So for instance, the clients that I have building in there, the husband has bad allergies. So it was like something that appealed to them right away, but they also fell in love with the floor plans. And I have to say they do a really good job with floor plans and their design choices. So I really did like the builder. The houses range from 1,200 square feet all the way up to 3,800 square feet. And they offer two car garages, and then the larger series offers 3-car garages. So there's a huge variety to choose from there. And, it's a great place to check out if you're thinking about moving to Parish.
And what was the build time on this, Marcia? Remind me.
About 6 months.
Okay. So that's a good range. We're usually 6 to 10 months on the express products or the products in this tier. So this would be a tier 1 builder for the most, in terms of how we grade them in the area. And meaning that most of their products are there's little to no customization in products like this. Right. So that's how they're so efficient and able to get these properties up and close so quickly. When you get up into tier 2 builders like Taylor Morrison, Pulte, Biscayne, Homes by West Bay, MI Homes, David Weekley, those builders tend to take somewhere between 12 to 18 months And then if you go fully custom, you're basically going to be able to have kids and get them into school before I'm kidding. That's a joke. But it's still going to be that 12 to 24 month period. I mean, it totally depends on how deep you're going on custom builds, right? If you get a piece of land right on the Gulf of Mexico that needs pilings and like you got to do a whole bunch of different things, it's going to extend the build time. But we talk about the tier 1, tier 2, or basically move-in ready, or those semi-custom homes. Those are some of the differences you guys would want to make note of.
Mm-hmm.
So
and people choose their builders for different reasons. Sometimes it's the quality, sometimes they need to move fast, so they're looking for something like this that's everything's picked out. And a lot of times when you go into the sales office and we investigate this for you, you can tell them, I really want white cabinets, or I really want my backyard to not face any other homes. I mean, they have it on a map that we can find the home that you're looking for. A lot of times that you can put an offer in and move in within 30 days and move into a new home, which is awesome to be able to do. But you can only do it when the builder's building out like this. Like Juan was saying, if you're talking a semi-custom home that you want to choose yourself, then it means you got to wait. So it depends on your situation.
Yeah, and you were talking about some of the efficiency features there, Marcia. I wanted to just cover those really quickly. So for everybody kind of wondering what that means, water efficient faucets, advanced framing, advanced thermostats, low E windows, low to zero VOC materials. That's like the off gases that they put in the air. LED lighting, multi-speed HVAC, Energy Star dishwasher and appliances, spray foam installation. That's a big one, y'all. Spray foam is not common, right? And usually it's not common until you get up into like semi-custom or custom. So to be able to get that at these price points that's a big deal. Sealed insulated ducts. So that was again, our clients did their homework about like allergies, and they're not great here in the spring, y'all. I don't know where you're going to be moving from, but like we essentially have 2 allergy seasons. We have spring and fall. Forgot the balloons. I didn't fix that. We have 2 allergy seasons, and the first one comes right around the end of February, the beginning of March, typically. And the pollen gets so thick here, you can draw your name on your car, right? Like, and especially if you're in an area with a lot of old growth trees, like where I live, we've got these beautiful old growth oak trees right out in our front yard, but my car is like this. I have a silver car, and it will become a hazy green for that 2-week period. So having things that are really well sealed and that have filtration systems are a huge advantage if you're a seasonal allergy sufferer. So forgive the tangent there, but it's important to understand why they're doing these things.
And a lot of people that move here say, I don't have allergies, but then when they move to Florida, they get allergies because it's, you're exposed to something different that you haven't been before. So that happens a lot.
The state is named after a flower, like La Florida, right? So like that, that by definition, like there's plants and vegetation and everything is growing all the time, y'all. This is not like if you've never lived in a subtropical region or a tropical region, then it's quite a shock because things are growing all the time everywhere. It's a constant battle to keep the vegetation from taking back over the land. Right, between landscaping and all the other things you have to do. We've talked before about mold and mildew on the driveways and stuff. Like it'll pile up, man. So this is cool to know that you have these kind of options. So that's a great share, Marcia. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I was impressed with the community and the floor plans. It was a great visit. I'm excited for my clients.
Yeah, that's great. So that's Meritage Home Builders. So for those of you wondering, Marcia's got experience out there with that team. We deal with all the builders here in the greater Tampa Bay area, whether you're looking at Wesley Chapel or Odessa up in Pasco County or as far north as Mirada. I think we've got a few under contract in Mirada right now, and that's the world's largest man-made lagoon. Or you're down in Bradenton, Sarasota with Marcia. I mean, we've sold all the way to as far south as Venice. So, we've got your back when it comes to that stuff. All right, so don't hesitate to reach out on that. What else, Marcia? Where are we headed next?
I want to talk about farmers markets. We're so fortunate here to have so many of them, and they're cool because they all kind of have their own vibe about
Mm-hmm.
them. My favorite one is the Bradenton Market. I live in Bradenton, so it's close by. I can run there and pick things up, or I can spend the day there. Um, I think it's really a cool vibe because it's on Old Main Street in Bradenton. So besides the vendors that are set up on the street, there's lots of shops and restaurants right there. And most of the restaurants here in Florida have outdoor dining. So you can be sitting outside eating and, watching all the people go by. It's never so crowded that, it's uncomfortable or you get tired of the crowd. It's just a really fun way to spend a morning or afternoon. The one in Bradenton happens to be on Saturdays. I think it's from 9 to 2. I know I put it in my notes to you, Juan, and I apologize. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure it's 9 to 2. Every Saturday, October through May, and then they take a break in the summer because it just gets too darn hot. But the Bradenton Farmers Market always has, I would say, at least 3 musicians. So you'll walk by one that's playing like an accordion. And then a little while later, you'll walk by somebody playing jazz. And, you walk a little further and you might hear a guitar player. It's just so cool. I love it. And the vendors, it's so fun to buy local. And it's a great place to bring kids or your dogs. It's like Florida, I think, has to be the most dog-friendly state in the country. People bring their dogs everywhere, and definitely to a farmer's market. So any farmer's market I've ever been to has vendors selling things for your dog. So it's kind of fun to take them and pick out a collar or a bed or, different things for them. And so that's a lot of fun. And then if you can't make it on Saturday, we have the Lakewood Ranch farmers market on Sunday here. That's from 10 to 1. Another really cool event. They have things like yoga going on during the farmers market. They have free yoga. They have a craft area for kids, like to paint their face, or they do different things at it. So that one's got a kind of a different vibe. It's down at Waterside, which is a really cool new area in Lakewood Ranch. So that's always a fun thing to go to as well.
Yep. We've done lots of videos on Lakewood Ranch, y'all. For those of you interested in that area, you can check those videos out. And of course, you can reach out to us directly. And these are great. Marsha, I was just showing the one in St. Petersburg as well. So, we made mention that Saturday mornings in St. Pete, we've got the Saturday morning market over there. It's beautiful. Also goes all the way through the winter, takes a break in the summer because it gets too hot, but it's right on the bay. So it's just, it's absolutely beautiful area to go check out and have a great market. It's right next to the Rowdy Stadium there where our professional soccer team plays. So great area there. And then I made mention earlier of the Ybor Saturday morning market as well. So I wanted to share that with you. One of the cool things about going down there, it's definitely a smaller market. Lots of good food, lots of opportunity to connect with locals down there. But if you've never been to Ybor City before, there are roosters everywhere. There's roosters and chickens that are feral and they run the streets. It's just like the first time we went down there, I'm like, what is happening down here? I feel like I'm on a farm, and you're definitely in the city. So it's like this, and it's a weird thing. And they're basically only there. I've never seen another chicken, and I know they get out, but like I've never seen another chicken or a rooster anywhere else in the city outside of Ybor, ever. So it's pretty unique in that respect. And there's and they're a thing, like if you look on the murals around the area, there's always a rooster in a mural. Because it's kind of the thing what's happening down there in Tampa. But another great farmer market to just go check out if that's your thing. Like I said, if you're going to the pirate invasion, like we discussed, and we started everything out this evening here. Park in Ybor City, take the rail car back to downtown Tampa. It'll be a great ride. Everybody have a great time, and you don't have to worry about parking. And then you can go eat at the Columbia afterwards. It'll be a great evening there. So good shares, Marsha. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. All right, cool. So y'all, if you're just joining us, welcome. We started this evening talking about pirates because the the annual Gasparilla Pirate Invasion is taking place. This is the third largest parade in the country. Over 300,000 people will be in Tampa and downtown enjoying the festivities. Lots of things to do. We covered that. You can go check this out. It is being recorded. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can obviously go back and watch it. And if you're watching us anywhere else, please do us a favor. If you get any value out of this, hit the like button. If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to subscribe as well. We come to you every Tuesday with Tampa Talk Tuesday Live. It's something we love doing. We love being interactive here. So let us know where you're watching from as well. We always appreciate the connection and the conversation during our live stream. So the goal here is not to talk at people. We really want this to be a welcoming, inviting space to our locals and to our clients who are considering relocating, or if you're just trying to figure out more information on Tampa, this is the spot to come hang out. We make videos that are all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. So excited to have y'all. I got Miss Marsha Railton with me this evening. I know we're missing another one of our cohorts. Miss Stacy is under the weather here, so we let her have the evening off, of course, so she can recover. If you want to connect with us off the video here, Marsha's Instagram handle is on the screen at Marsha Railton, and my Instagram handle is up as well, juan.alcala.realtor, so you can connect with us there. We love connecting with you guys, so don't hesitate to reach out. And what I wanted to do, Marsha, is just get into a little bit of what's popping off here in real estate, because there's some interesting things happening right now. Last but not least, before we roll into that, I wanted to talk about the food. I love talking about food. In case you didn't know, if this is your first time here, welcome to the education, because I'm going to find you a good spot to go eat in the city. We try to always make that connection because, my wife and I, we love to eat and drink our way through everywhere we ever explore. And getting those local insights is always just a great benefit whenever we go somewhere. One of our little travel hacks we had, Marsha, is when we go to a hotel, we always ask the staff, where do they go eat? And they always do the normal. And what I mean by that is they always send you to the same place that all the other tourists go. That's the first thing that they always say, right? And then we go, that's cool, but where do you go eat? And they go, oh, I go over here, right? Oh, okay, why do you go there? Oh, because they have the best blank, right? Or if you want the best breakfast, ask them, and they will always tell you. And so that's how we always find these little honey holes wherever we go, because we always ask that question. And then when we arrive, Kate and I used to both be in the hospitality industry. She was in the service staff and worked at high-end steakhouses for years. And then I managed restaurants for a long time too. But one of the questions we learned to ask the staff members is, hey, what should we have? If we've never been here before, what is the one thing we need to have? So we're going to run around telling everybody this is the greatest place on earth. And then they'll tell you. And then I ask them a follow-up question, just like I do the hotel people. Hey, if you had to spend your money here, meaning you weren't getting a discount, what would be the one item you would buy? And they almost always say something else. And that's what we end up buying. So that's our little travel hack for y'all. But I wanted to share this with you when it comes to, coming to the area here. We just had 3 restaurants be recognized in the top 100 places to eat in the United States. That's pretty awesome. So I wanted to share these with you. I have not been to any of these restaurants. So I now have a mission to share, to go eat and share that back with you. The first one is the Greek restaurant Mio's Grill and Cafe in St. Pete. It was ranked number 12. And that makes it the highest rated restaurant in Tampa Bay, according to this list. All right. So this is Yelp's top 100 in the United States. Sorry. Want to make sure we get this. So Yelp's top 100 places to eat in the U.S. And Mio's Grill and Cafe in St. Petersburg was ranked number 12 in the U.S. Shout out to Mio's. Never been there. I'm going to come, y'all. So Greek, I'm here for it. Let's go eat it. Let's find out. The next one on the list was Bayshore Mediterranean Grill, located on at South McDell, which ranked 75 on the list. That looks good. Looks like a little kebab action, a little lamb maybe. Excited for that one as well. And then the last one is Shaker and Peel up in Oldsmar. And that one ranked 80 on the list here. And it is known for its Tampa chicken tacos and Chi-Town egg rolls. I'm not familiar with that, but again, I'm going to try it. Right. So I figured I'd share that with y'all because I always love finding new places to eat and checking those out. All right. I wanted to get into some real estate news really quickly here. Some interesting things are happening here in the greater Tampa Bay area, from a real estate perspective. We'll keep this short, y'all, but I just wanted to share this with you because I think it's important to take note of. All right. So ultra high-end home sales in the greater Tampa Bay area surged in 2023. And when I mean surge, y'all, some of these numbers are astronomical. All right. Just astronomical home sales happening here. And I want to read this brief article here. Now, ultra high end is what they're talking about. So this is like, we'll get into the stats here. While here's what it says. While the number of single family homes dropped in 2023, home sales dropped in 2023, the number of ultra luxury home sales topped 150 last year. When comparing to 2023 to 2020, the numbers of single-family homes sold in Tampa Bay dropped over 14% during the same time. The number of homes sold for $5 million or more nearly quadrupled from 42 in 2020 to 156. That is like,
wow.
Oh, homes of over $5 million went from 42 sales in 2020 to over 156 in 2023. And that train does not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. That is fascinating to me. Pinellas County in particular saw a major increase in the top end home sales, more than doubling from 24 in 2022 to 50 in 2023. Sarasota County actually saw a decrease from 67 ultra luxury homes to 51. So they fell off a little bit, but the region as a whole has still grown dramatically. Okay, so that's something I want to take note of. And you start hearing those things, you're like, well, what does that actually mean, Juan? So I want to give you guys an example. This piece of dirt that you're looking at right here, this piece of dirt that attaches to the bay, that piece of dirt is currently listed for $10.3 million.
We're still seeing the article. I don't see.
All right. Let me switch it over. So this piece of dirt right here, Marsha.
Oh, all right. That is a piece of dirt.
It is. It's got a dock. It's attached to the water, which is nice, right? But that piece of dirt is currently listed at $10.3 million in sales, which is nuts. It was previously owned by Steven Stamkos, who was the Tampa Bay Lightning captain, the hockey club, and he sold it. And then now it's up for sale again at $10.3 million. There was also just another piece of real estate that was listed for $21 million on Davis Island. Okay, so like when we were talking about that earlier, what does that mean? And I've spoke at Davis Island before, y'all, but I just want to give you some perspective. Davis Islands. Let me make sure I get this correct. All right. Again, it used to be 2. They put a bunch of dirt in there and made it 1. This happened a long time ago. Did a whole history on it. But this is Davis Island. Okay, this piece of land that you're looking at right here. So this is downtown Tampa. Let me back out just a little bit more so people can get perspective. All right. So downtown Tampa is here. And you've got Harbor Island here, and then Davis Island is the big islands. Davis Islands is the big islands next to it. It's got its own private runway. This is where a lot of our athletes reside. Okay, so they buy real estate here. It's a very attractive piece of real estate. Tom Brady lived here when he was here. Derek Jeter had a home here. Like this is that spot, y'all. So like when you kind of get perspective on that, but that's fascinating to think about that, Marsha. Like going from 42 sales to 156 sales on the ultra high end luxury is just fascinating to me. That's fascinating. So Tampa's still ripping, y'all. For everybody who's wondering what's going on with Tampa, don't sleep on it. Now let's get into a little bit of residential, and then we'll send you off for the evening here. Tampa housing market, for the last 4 weeks, let's see, in December 2023, Tampa home prices were up 16% compared to last year. The median price of $418,000 on average. Homes in Tampa sell after 35 days in the market compared to 34 last year. So we're up 1 day, only 1 day. There were 433 homes sold in December this year versus 489. So we are still down in sales. And when I say down in sales, I don't mean the prices are down. The sales are down, meaning the amount of homes that are selling. Keep those things in perspective. They're important to recognize. And even that, if you see home prices falling, that may not mean home values fall. I know it gets all convoluted, but it's important to just keep those things in mind. All right. So 417,000 is the median home price here in Tampa. Well, what's kind of happening out here? I want to give you guys some perspective. I know I'm moving fast, but let me just give you, I'm going to add a location here. Let's do some of the big hitters in the area. Talk about St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is up 2% year to date, year over year, I should say. So this time, same time last year, it's up 2%. So that's slowed a little bit. Let's talk about Clearwater really quick. Make sure we get that in there as well. So Clearwater is up 14.1%. I know it looks pretty small, and let me dial it in. So Clearwater's up 14.1%. The median home price there is $385,000. So it's something to keep in perspective. And if I back out of here, I want to get you guys to the national home prices. So let's do that. The U.S. housing market currently is standing at $403,000. So just so everybody knows what the median sales price, we're a little bit higher than that median sales price in the United States. Number of home sales is down 8.8% year over year, same time period. The average fixed rate mortgage is finally starting to go down, which is great. Let's talk about Sarasota, Marcia. Quickly throw that in there.
Do that.
Yep. So Sarasota housing market, and here's, you see numbers, you're like, what the heck? Because this is where things get really out of whack. So this is why you've got to keep your eye on like a long time horizon, because you can see that in the past month, it jumped from $470,000, which it roughly was, to almost $1 million. Well, why did that happen? Well, the number of homes that sold is low, 173 versus the 433 we sold here in Tampa. And if the most of the homes they sold were, $1 million or more, that's going to throw this number off. So that's why you see that there. So if we go to single family homes, right now, we can get a little bit better picture on that. So if you're looking at a single family home, the median home price here in Sarasota is roughly around $444,000. So not much higher than Tampa, only a few $1,000s. So just keep that in perspective. What threw this off is somebody was selling some very expensive condos. Right? You see the number there, Marcia?
Yeah.
So it jumped quite dramatically on the condo. So that's why I wanted to share with you. That's not the median price for a condo. Median price for a condo in Sarasota is going to be roughly around $400,000 as well. It's not much different from their single family, but this is a 1 month snapshot. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, just keeping it in perspective. I think that's important to kind of wrap your mind around. What I did want to also show is the migration, where people are moving in from. This is one of my favorite things to look at. This is the U.S. migration trends, and this is based upon the activity on the Redfin app, okay, where people are looking. And it shows where home buyers are actively searching for. And if it's on red, that means that is the most actively searched. And as you guys can see, if you hadn't noticed, Florida is still, we're orange now versus red, Marcia. So that migration trend is finally starting to cool. So just a perspective, it's starting to slow down a little bit, but it is definitely not what I would say neutral or cool in any way, shape, or form. It's just starting to normalize, as I think is a better term for it, right? So they're still actively pursuing Florida. You can see that the Carolinas and Tennessee are still very active. Looks like Arizona as well, Nevada, Idaho. These areas are still growing. Even some on the Northeast here. It looks like Maine's picking up a little bit of steam. And then as it gets blue, it gets cold. Right. So people are not considering moving to California right now. Washington State, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Maryland, New York. New York State, as you can see, is ice cold, just like California, and then Massachusetts. Now, what I'm not in here saying that homes aren't selling there. That's not what I'm saying. This is a migration map, meaning where are people looking to move to that are coming inbound from a different state. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what I want to share with you. You could be in one of these markets and have a great real estate market right now. So don't hear what I said and think that I'm discounting that real estate transactions are happening. That's not what I'm saying. But people aren't looking to move into your state on the Redfin app. Okay. They could be doing it elsewhere. So So that's why I just want to share that perspective. And I love this, right? So like if I go to Tampa specifically, let me go back to Tampa. It'll give me this map here for Tampa specifically, and it'll show us where people are moving in from. Where is most of this inbound migration occurring from? And Marcia and I can validate this with you because we've already had like 25 Zoom calls this month with people reaching out and wanting to relocate to the area or buy a vacation home or whatever it is. And let's just say this, a lot of them come from these areas, right? So Marcia, we've of course got Chicago on the list, which we had a Chicago Zoom call today. Yeah. We've got Los Angeles on this list. There is San Francisco on the list. We got Seattle. We move people from Seattle. We do have people coming from Atlanta also. And then the Northeast, which is typically Boston, Virginia. We get a lot of that as well. And then Pennsylvania, we get a ton of people coming from Pennsylvania as well. You know, typically the northeastern states where people are just tired of being cold and they're ready for that next step. And then the other big one is Miami. People are moving out of Miami into Tampa. It's very interesting. And then when you look at the list where they're going, right? So if we look at the list, they're coming in from New York, Washington, Chicago, Miami, Boston, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, and San Francisco. They are heading out to, meaning that they are leaving Tampa. Where are they going? They're going to Sarasota. So that was great. Like, hey, this is still Tampa Bay at the end of the day. They're going to Orlando. They're going to Hermosa Springs. So the first three for people leaving Tampa are staying in Florida. Right? It's fascinating, like when you wrap your mind around that. Next, they're going to Asheville, North Carolina, which I absolutely love Asheville. They're going to Ocala, Florida. So 4 of the top 5 are all in Florida. Jacksonville, Tennessee, Greenville, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Carolina, and Gainesville. Marcia, 7 of these are in Florida.
Yeah, they're not moving far.
No, they're like, what, you know, maybe Tampa's not for us anymore for whatever reason, but we don't like to freeze, so we're staying in the state. It's fascinating when I see stuff like that. I'm always just so intrigued by those migration maps. Are just fascinating me. So awesome.
It is very interesting and you know, when you talk to our clients, all the different reasons people move, I find it so interesting. I love being a part of that.
It really is. It's a blessing to be able to serve y'all. We appreciate it. I can't stress enough how much y'all have meant to us. It's just been incredible. I feel like we're in Wally world. You know, we've had, I think, 15 Zoom calls in the last 6 days from people, you know, and this is the season, you know, people start thinking about coming down during spring break. They want to come visit. They're entertaining the idea of moving here. And if that's you, feel free to connect with us. All of my contact information, all the team's contact information is down below, including a link to my calendar. Literally, you can schedule a time that's most convenient for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's all down in the contact information below. If you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, just reach out to me directly. Reach out to Marcia. Her Instagram handle is on that screen, at Marcia Railton. Mine is at juan.alcala.realtor. And then you can find us on Instagram over there. We love connecting with y'all. Thank you so much for the contributions to the show. Thank you for the questions. That's what gives us topics to help you know, you guys, you know, make decisions about relocating here, or the local people that reach out to us, which we absolutely love. So tell us your favorite spots in Tampa. Tell us what you'd love to see in Tampa. We're happy to go out and do the research and the homework. It's an absolute blessing. Marcia, any final words before you sign off this evening?
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Like Juan said, we love helping people move here. We've even been helping a lot of international. So I have a family that's moving into their new Tampa home on Friday. I'm super excited for them. They're moved here from London. We have people that I met with last weekend that are moving their family from Australia. And we've talked to people this week from Canada. It's amazing how many people are coming here, and we appreciate being part of that transition and enjoy every second of it.
Absolutely. It's been incredible, man. Like I said, it feels like Wally World. So we appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. Go out, live that Tampa life. We'll see you.
Good night, everyone.